Hello, my beautiful water babies. Welcome to your extended reading for the full moon in Capricorn. So, welcome wherever you've come from, IG, TikTok, or if you've come from YouTube. Thank you for being here. You are part of this reading. You are part of this community and this soul tribe if you are here. So, I'm so happy to have you with me. So if you've come from IG and TikTok, as I always say, you've got an idea of the basic message here, the introductory message. But for those of you who've just joined me from YouTube, I am going to reiterate that message and then we will move into the deeper dive and all the questions that I've got to tap into what's going on for you guys. So it's been interesting. I've done the air signs and the fire signs, and there's definitely a big shift going on for all of us. So I'm super excited to see what comes through for you guys. So anyway, let's get stuck in with this introductory message. I've asked, what are you releasing under this full moon? And I got these two here in the middle. So 7 of Cups and Ace of Wands. So the 7 of Cups, clarified by the 4 of Wands, is saying to me that you are releasing a version of yourself that was second guessing decisions about where you could lay your foundations. So perhaps in the past you kind of went in a certain direction with your career or with your home life or with your friends or your partner or your romantic life, and it didn't quite lead to anywhere, it didn't quite work out, and I don't know, it just never really turned into something solid. And so I feel like in the past there's been a side of you that didn't really trust your intuition. You didn't really trust that you'd made the right choice with said person or career move or whatever, because it didn't work out. But you're releasing that under this full moon, and you're understanding that all of that's in the past now. We can't really go in a wrong direction in a sense, because every choice and decision we make, if we're looking at life through the lens of life being a teacher, life being a mirror for self-reflection, which I know you guys do because you guys go deep. You're very emotional. You're very tapped into yourself. I think if you're looking at life in that way as a tool for self-reflection, like all of your experiences, deep down that none of them were wrong, but perhaps in the past, you had your intuitive hit about a person or a career or a situation that you were in, a job, a friendship, whatever it is for you. You had that intuitive hit, but you didn't listen to it. Why? Because in the past, perhaps there were external influences that made you question yourself, or could have just been your own self-doubt. So either your own self-doubt or other people getting in your ear, giving you advice about things like that. And when people give us advice, I always say take anyone's advice with a pinch of salt, because really we are the only ones that can give ourselves the correct advice. When someone else is giving advice, it's usually from their own experience, and their experience and their lessons are different to our own. So that's why we should always trust our intuition and never really ask for advice. That's my theory anyway. I wouldn't, Anyways, I'm not going to go off on that route of me yapping on about getting advice. But essentially what this is saying is you are releasing all of that. You're trusting yourself more. You're trusting your intuition now, okay? You're not going to be this indecisive person anymore, or second guessing. And then with the Ace of Wands here, clarified by the Five of Cups, again, you're releasing, continuing to engage, to take action, to move towards situations, people, jobs, whatever, that have previously disappointed you. You're not doing that anymore. There's no second chances anymore. When something has shown you, something or someone has shown you that it's not right for you, that it doesn't feel good, you will immediately from now on be cutting that out or not pursuing it any further. And I don't think you're going to get too emotional about it, guys. I don't see a lot of emotion here. It's just that for some reason, the shift that's happening within you under this full moon is like, I'm trusting myself more, okay? If something doesn't feel good, I don't need to think about why it doesn't feel good. I don't need to question myself. I don't need to ask advice from anyone. I don't need to look in a freaking book and try and figure it out. Or Google it, or whatever you do. I am going to just say to myself, okay, this doesn't feel aligned. It doesn't feel good. Don't need to know why. I'm going to stop pursuing this thing, and you'll be fine with it. You're just going to be cool with it. Okay. I love it. And then this Two of Swords is pulling it all together. So this is just clarifying what I've already said. What you're moving away from, what you're releasing under this full moon is indecision, confusion, distraction from other people's voices, all of that stuff. You're releasing it. You're not doing it anymore. I love it. So let's get stuck in, guys. Let's go deeper. Let's go deep into the waters of the Capricorn full moon. Even though it's not a water sign moon, it is very earthy, very grounded. But it does require us to have a little bit of discipline. Look at this, it's come out again. So what are we going to choose? Okay, what are we ready to begin? That's the first question I'm asking. What are we ready to begin? And remember, you could be a water sign, or you could just have lots of water in your chart, or you might just be drawn to this reading without really knowing why, in which case the message is for you. Really, all of these messages are interconnected anyway, and we are all much more complicated than just I'm a Taurus, I'm a Scorpio, whatever. But, you know, again, I'm not going to go off on that tangent just now, just yet. We can save that for another time. So what blessings are coming in for you, my lovelies? We've got the Hierophant first, followed by the King of Wands, followed by the Page of Cups. Ooh, okay. And what I'm seeing here, I'm going to talk about them all individually. So we'll start with the Hierophant here. What I'm feeling here for you is one of the blessings that's coming forward this full moon is you are going to have such a sense of really knowing what your belief system is, like really getting clear on that. And almost like, it's like you're feeling that's becoming a part of who you are. You're like more, how can I explain it? You know, it's part of your identity in a way, but you're recognizing as well that your identity, your values, your specific belief system is unique, and that's why it's beautiful, because it's all been formed over years and years and years of your experiences and what you've learned on your spiritual path. You've gained your own wisdom, your own tools, and your own ideas that are important to you, the values that are important to you. And you may have picked these up from your parents, yes, but I'm feeling this is more that you've picked these beliefs up from everything you've been through, you know. You've learned certain lessons in life that are unique to you, and only you has this specific set of values. And I feel like you're just really clear on those, and you're kind of integrating them within yourself and going, you know what, you just feel really connected to them. But they also make you feel like a sense of, yeah, it's a sense of identity. It's like, this is who I am. This is kind of like my niche as a person who is in the world and here to create something. And my message, my values are this, and my message is this, and this is the message that I want to give to everyone, you know, that I want to share with everyone about what I've learned on my spiritual journey. Because like, all of our journeys are important, and all of our lessons are important, and they're all different. So we all individually have something to teach from what we've been through. And I do feel that that's just something that you're aware of under this full moon. It's becoming very, very clear to you that you are what it is you're here to share, like what wisdom it is you're here to share. Wow. I'm seeing like a jewel as well. It's like, yeah. You know, it really is. If you look at all those, I've never noticed those symbols before, but look, there's the Om symbol, there's the fish, the ichthus, is it, from Christianity? You've got the pentagram there. So it's like you may have tried lots of, or had experience with lots of different philosophies, lots of different religions or faiths, or different spiritual ways of seeing things, like the Buddhists or whatever it is. And you've taken little bits from all of them. And then you've also had your own life experiences. And it's all just this, you are this wisdom, whatever that is for you. I just think it's very clear for you under this moon. So I love that. Really love. Oh, sorry, had to pause again, but we're back again. A lot of hiccups with the old technology today. Trying not to get too disgruntled about that. Right, so we're on King of Wands now. So what is another blessing for you is this movement forward, clear direction, and the passion and the fire to go and do it. I mean, you can just see that from the card, can't you? So you're gonna be feeling very driven, very passionate, very bold under this full moon about your direction in life, and also again about who you are. You're very clear on that now, what you're here to do, why you're here, what you want to share, and you're going for it. Yeah. Look at that determination in that lion's eyes. I think you're going to have the strength, physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual strength to get stuff done under this full moon with the King of Wands energy there. You're just going to go for it. No questions, no hesitation. You're going to have that courage behind you. And then with the Page of Cups, I feel you're also being blessed with a sense of it's almost like a return to innocence, I want to say. So there's a feeling of like, it's okay to not know where I'm going. And also to leave the baggage of the past behind, you know, because the page is like the beginning of the journey, and this is Cups. So, I mean, it's not the beginning of the journey of Cups, that would be the Ace of Cups. But in terms of the court cards, it's like you're ready to kind of have this innocent approach to emotions, yes, to emotional connections, to friendships and partnerships and romantic connections. You're opening yourself up to returning to that state the universe is making you feel like that somehow under this full moon. You're like, just that weight of whatever you've been through with people, with connections, that may have felt heavy and had you feeling heavy-hearted. Because again, you see that lightness coming off there, off of his chest. Sorry, that was my son sneezing in the background. Anyways, we're back. Yeah, there's a lightness in your chest. Whatever was holding you back from feeling free in connections, perhaps things that had hurt you or disappointed you or made you feel like you weren't good enough, or that, whatever. I don't even want to go down into that energy. It's just too much for me at the moment, because I've been through these things myself. But yeah, I think you're being blessed with a lighter approach to connections. It's because you've allowed yourself to release those, to release the heaviness of what you've been through. You know, you've had to wade through it all. You've had to feel it to heal it, etc. I hate that phrase, but it says what it means, you know, and it makes a lot of sense here. You have to feel, and you have to go through feeling something and the pain of something and the heartbreak and all of that for it to then be released. And you've done that already quite a bit, I feel. And so it's just not heavy on you anymore. It's just not heavy. There's a real, and it, like the pale blue is such a lovely colour. It's a very calming colour. And yeah, it's like the release of this weight of expectation of like, oh, you know, this is going to happen again. There's none of that going on. There's a real lightness. So I love it so much, guys. I'm not even going to go any further with that, because that's all we need to know, I think. There's a sense of purpose for you with the King of Wands, and passion and courage. And then the Hierophant, your sense of identity, your values, who you are, what you're sharing, what you're here to teach. And then there's a lightness in your heart when it comes to connections. I've just got this again, popping out. Four of Wands, guys. Now this can be a card of marriage, yes. But really, whatever it's connected to, it means that something has a solid foundation. And when you've got a solid foundation built on trust, mutual respect and love and all of that, then it can grow into something. You know, when you've got two people that work well together, whether it's romance, friendship or business, you know, the party, if you look at this situation here, the party almost happens organically because the two people complement each other. And so when they're working together or playing together, and hopefully you'll be doing this, you know, your work will be playful and your play will become work. You know, you'll be doing something that you love and it will bring about your success, your abundance. But yeah, it doesn't, it's almost like it just all happens so easily. You know, the party comes around and these girls here haven't really had to do too much work. Yeah, they've put some planning in, but because they've both played a part here equally, it hasn't felt unbalanced, and so it hasn't felt like too much like hard work to create this space that they're creating. So if you're relating that to your business or your marriage or a close friendship, whatever it is, I feel this is coming in for you under this full moon. I feel this Four of Wands energy very strongly. Okay, and the stars coming out as well, yeah. So we're going to look at obstacles. We're going to look at any obstacles that might be coming up for you during this full moon energy, which I always say it's at least 3 days either side of the full moon, but it can continue for about 2 weeks. That's my personal view on it. So, obstacles that may occur for you during this time. We have got the Four of Pentacles and the Sun. So you may be cautious about being happy, holding yourself back from your own happiness. It's got a too good to be true energy here, where she's like, can I trust that I'm just allowed to be happy? Let's get another clarifier on that Four of Pentacles. Yeah, that could be an obstacle for you. Four of Pentacles is also holding on to the way things were. So it could be that could be blocking your happiness. You're like not open to not letting the past go, holding on to things staying the same. Because it's like, she's like, no, I don't want to go and spend any money because then I won't have, I mean, it's not necessarily talking about money. This is Pentacles, so it's material things. So it's your material world. But it's like, you don't want to go and spend the coins because you're like, oh, but I like my purse how it is. It's always had this amount of money in it. So it's almost about taking chances. Yeah, I've got the Ace of Pentacles here clarifying that. There is a chance. And it might be that if she just takes this one pentacle out of the purse, so like changes one thing about her material existence, and takes a chance, you know, what would that mean? That would mean, well, it could mean spending a bit more money. It could not be so miserly with your money. It could be buying a new piece of furniture, or even moving something around in your house, or moving location, or I don't know. It's about, essentially though, it's about allowing yourself to try something different. And when you do, you might be surprised at what it grows into. Yeah. But there's also a feeling here that oh yeah, it's just holding yourself back from letting the light in, from allowing yourself to be blessed. It's like that too good to be true energy, you know, because she's like, well, I'd hoped it'd grow into something, but look, it's only grown into this tiny little seed. So there's an energy of lack there. There's an energy of looking at focusing on what hasn't happened yet, and like assuming it's going to go badly. That's a miserly energy. You're like, well, I could spend some money, but if I do, this could go wrong, you know. And that's going to hold you back from your joy of like, yeah, focusing on the negatives essentially is what I'm feeling. Because normally when I look at that, I see a very positive card, but when I'm looking at it now, it seems like she's almost disappointed in the growth. And it's not fair, because it's like, well, it's only just started, for goodness sake, you know, and it's got strong roots, and actually it's likely to grow into something else, but it's going to take time. So why are you focusing on being disappointed that it's not where it hasn't grown into anything yet. So that could be what it is. It's like you make a move, I don't know, in your business or in your home towards something that you want materially in the physical world. And it starts to grow, but it's growing slowly and you don't see instant results. And so you're like, oh, why aren't things moving into what I'd hope they move into? Why isn't it happening for me now? Sorry, that's my impression of you. But this is an obstacle. Obstacles we move past. So now you know about it, you can deal with it. You're aware of that possibility within your own mind, within your own kind of energy of, you might focus on the negative and stop yourself. But you might also think this is too good to be true. There's two ways of reading that energy, and I've given you both because it's what came through, is how I was reading it. So yeah, whatever resonates for you. Your obstacle could be thinking it's too good to be true, and so not believing in it and not trusting in it and not actually allowing yourself to feel happy about it, or being kind of focusing on the negative and being a bit annoyed that it hasn't actually come to fruition or grown into anything instantly. But that's cool because you're aware of it now, so it's fine. It's just an obstacle. This, and it really does vibe with the Capricorn energy, because Capricorn is all about steady, consistent effort over time towards your goals. And that's the way they achieve success. It's not a one-night thing. It's not sudden overnight success. That is not what we are talking about here. This moon is asking us to commit to something and have the discipline to see it through. So it does vibe. It does jive with that. Okay. Right, so we've had the obstacles. Now we're going to look at final guidance, and then we are going to move to Oracle and see what happens there. So what's the guidance? One's just flown out. Temperance. Yeah, that one came out in the fire signs reading as well, so you might want to go and watch that. Let's ask actually, where do we need to have temperance specifically for water signs? Where do we need to have that temperance, that balance? Actually, I'm going to put that one in the middle with, okay, emotions, flow of emotions, beginning of connections is what I'm feeling. Because the ace is the beginning. And that feeling when you have that beginning of a relationship can be very exciting, can be very overwhelming. You guys are water signs. You get in the emotions, you get in the feels. It feels good, it feels amazing, it feels exciting. You get, all loved up and all those endorphins flowing and all of that. And I guess the cards are saying just have a little bit of temperance when it comes to anything that is initiated under this full moon. Whatever connections are beginning for you are starting to kind of ignite, starting to spark up. So romantic, friendship, family too, and business partners. There's a lot of kind of soul connections coming together of different flavors at this time, I feel. Well, isn't that interesting? And temperance over the 8 of Swords. So we've got two different energies here. One is don't get too excited when you get emotional and you have feelings for somebody. Just like chill, be cool, let the feelings flow, never stop the feelings from flowing. That is not good for you. Never do that. But maybe just, don't get carried away with it. Okay, I'm going to read these two differently because you can read them separately as not getting too carried away with the emotions with new beginnings, and separately, don't get in your head too much. Don't allow yourself to ever feel trapped in your mind. Your thoughts are just your thoughts, you know? They are not your reality. They're literally just your thoughts. And also, by the way, that when people say your thoughts create your reality, that's not true. It's actually your energy, your emotions. So thoughts that go around your head about whatever nonsense is in there that make you feel like you can't stop thinking about that one thing over and over and over again, that's the Eight of Swords energy. And the guidance here is to balance that out. So how do you balance that out? I gave this same advice actually in the fire signs reading, because it's one thing that I do when I'm trying to get out of my, you know, overthinking brain, is to just stop and start to move my body and do some kind of workout. I go for runs, I do running, and that's always good. You know, I'm focused. I have a little app where it's the Couch to 5K, but it's basically interval training, and it leads you up to a half an hour run. And so I do that, and then I'm focused on the music I'm listening to, the run that I'm doing, and the, you know, the different effects on my body and all of that. So I'm just I'm focusing elsewhere, and because my body is moving, my brain isn't thinking. And I was saying this before in the fire signs reading, I feel like when you're sitting still, your brain is then more active because your body isn't moving. I'm not saying there's any science to back that up, but that's just how I feel personally. But yeah, so I do running, but I also do yoga. And again, with yoga, I'm really focused on the sensations within my body and the movements that I'm making. And so my brain isn't thinking about random crap that it doesn't need to be thinking about. So there you go, that's my little thing. So those are the two energies if we take them separately. If we take them together with temperance, which we could also do, this could be, don't get in your head about new connections. Like, don't let your brain go off on a tangent about what's happening within a new connection. Why? Because it's just your brain. Again, you know, your brain is always trying to protect you from what you don't know, because we don't like what we don't know. We don't know when we can't see around the corner and we don't know what's coming. Sometimes our brains find that difficult to deal with. And so we create stories in our minds of, this could be happening, or that could be happening, or this person must be thinking this, or that person must have the intention of doing this. And, you know, we'll come up with a whole, you know, we can come up with all sorts of amazing stories when just from one thing that one person has said. When we are feeling, I think when we're investing too much into it, or we're just, I don't know. Yeah. It's just a kind of coping mechanism. It's like a protection mechanism that we have. And your guidance here is to stay balanced. Stay here. Don't be here. Don't be here. Don't be here with the two together. Just stay right in the middle. Okay, you are balanced. You have angels around you, protecting you. There is nothing to fear. You do have an internal balance within you. You know, you are connected both to your emotions with the moon and to your action with the sun, okay? You are this. We've already established that at the beginning. You have that within you. You've tapped into your power so much under this full moon, and you are internally balanced. So don't let anything else coming in, anything new, get you unbalanced. You don't need to be. I'm just going to pull one more as to pull those all together. Oh, one's just sit on the floor. Yeah, don't worry, be happy. 9 of Pentacles. And I just saw 1919, which to me is a number of the feminine energy. So it's a reminder to tap into your feminine. sometimes. So just enjoy yourself, and that's a message that keeps coming through. Enjoy your life, be present as well. She's like, she's not worrying about, you know, who's going to phone tonight, or, you know, how she's going to get the online shop done, or what she's doing next week. She's totally in the moment, like really focused on the present moment, which is playing with her little birdie up here and just enjoying the flow of life. So that's the guidance. I'm going to leave that with you there. Let's move on to Oracle, shall we? Let's move on to Oracle. I'm going to have to go soon because, oh my goodness, guys, life is so busy at the moment. I'm like, how can I get all this stuff done? Oh my goodness, I'm not complaining because it's really cool, but boy, is there a lot going on. And I could do with a breather, but I just really love to get these messages out to you, and I love these elemental readings as well. And we have a really nice little community on here now. I love it so much. And some of you I know personally, like who I've interacted with on social media, and some of you I don't yet, but still. And a couple of you are my actual friends. So it's like a little bit of time together. Okay, right. Where are we going here? I think we're going to this one. Oh my God, look how perfect is that? Playfulness. That's, I think that may be the first time I've pulled that one. 3939. Take a breath. Happiness and warmth are surrounding you and bringing confirmation that you've recently made the right choice. Feel free to express yourself and get a little playful with life. Let that burden slide off your shoulders. Things are about to start feeling a little bit lighter and fun. Encouraging transitional energy, feeling confident in a recent decision. Comfort and happiness are flooding in. Period of great happiness. And the affirmation is, happiness is my birthright. Well, that just confirms everything that we have just been saying. So I love that. I do like it when the oracles kind of pull it all together, because it just shows that that's the message that we need to hear and that is trying to reveal itself. So I'm going to pull from another oracle deck as well. I've done this for the fire signs. I didn't do it for the air signs, but I did for the fires, and I'm going to do it for you guys. I think maybe because when I did the air signs, it was a couple of days before the full moon, but right now under this energy, it's quite intense. And so I've got my Shapeshifters out, okay, because the Shapeshifters oracle helps us when we are going through transformation, because even if it's a beautiful and good one, well, all transformation is, I guess, but even if we're kind of excited about it, it's still intense, and sometimes we need a little bit of support. I'm just gonna pull that back a bit so you can see. Right, I'm feeling this one. Oh, I love this one. It is all right to be alone. Okay, that kind of connects with what we were saying at the beginning about boundaries and no second chances and all of that. Okay. Okay. So here's the message. Your changes are becoming conspicuous to others. So, for now, be sure to keep the changes safe while you nurture them. Now is neither the right time to proclaim them loudly, nor is it the time to be mysterious. It is wise to allow them simply to happen. Some will notice and give their support. Others will notice and give their disapproval. You must learn to discern what advice is wise. Be not needful of approval and flattery, or of condemnation against which to rebel. Just keep on being your true self and give yourself space and solitude. Allow the little wolf girl to show you how. Then you will know when your true self will be revealed. The changes you have made will, in time, seem so entirely natural, and those who are no longer meant to be in your life will depart. Do not worry. Just keep on becoming, and be, for now, in the best company of all, your own. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So, oops, books on the floor. So we've got playfulness and solitude. So that's a really lovely 2 cards to come at the end there. Let me know if those resonate for you and if you feel connected to that energy. But I really love that as guidance anyway. And, you know, I do feel like it's a lot, this full moon. It's a lot energetically. It's asking a lot of us as well. But you are being guided to remember to have some fun and enjoy life in between the things that you're doing, the duties and responsibilities you have and the commitments you've made to yourself and to others. In between that, you can play, you can enjoy things, and you can be alone. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of growth within that solitude as well. So it's beautiful, guys. I'm going to stop the reading now because there is nothing more to be said. Nothing more to be said. I've really enjoyed doing this reading. Thank you for being here, as always. Do let me know if any of this resonated. And I always appreciate a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And if you've watched this reading and you'd like to see more of this, then click on the subscribe button to get more of these videos coming up on your feed. Otherwise, I'm wishing all who are here a very beautiful and blessed and abundant full moon. And take care of yourselves, guys. And I will see you soon. Bye.